Sweet Caroline.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
But-
Skype popped up with a message saying Gavin started recording.
Yeah.
So good. So good. So good.
Now it's time to make all kinds of faces. Gavin's recording.
Well, it kind of sucks that you guys can't hear my what I'm saying. I wonder if I can.
Yeah, it's probably a setting. I mean, it's one of those things you might want to mess with when you
See how
have a
When
few
you-
minutes and you can just tinker
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, and make Jim sit in the other room. Can you see it? Can you hear it? What?
Yeah, there you go.
What?
You guys, last week's episode was so fucking funny.
Oh my
I
god.
laughed. I know I commented on it, but I laughed as much listening back to it as I did when I was on the call.
Why? Now, what made it? What made it funny? Just our,
Well, a lot of it was Nessa because she
Oh, Nessa.
we couldn't understand what she was saying, but it just still got funnier and funnier, even though we had no idea what the hell she was saying.
Right.
Except for the asshole pulsating or whatever it was she kept trying to say.
Right.
Oh, the winking asshole.
Yes.
Right. I know that was great because she tried to say it several times, but
Yeah.
Well, I think it got to the point where we knew what she said, but we just wanted to make her say it more.
Oh.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's-
there's not enough winking assholes in this world.
no.
I hear that all the time.
Oh, make me wink, baby.
We need to sort of. Never mind. That's what I get for trying to do two things at one time here. It doesn't work well. But anyway.
All right.
So anyway, we have to say our thoughts are going to be with Big Fatty tomorrow and his Big Fatty and his family because his
Yes.
mother passed.
Absolutely.
And we also have to think about Arthur and
Yes.
because Nigel passed away.
Yep.
That was so
Yeah.
sudden.
Fast.
That was
Yeah,
fast.
less than a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I think his post initially was last Friday,
Yeah.
and and then he passed, and it was like, wow, like
I know.
that, just such a shock. Like no time to. I don't know. I
Let
mean,
it sink
not
in.
like it's easy to prepare for, but usually you have a little bit of time to sort of figure out like what is life going to look like, and what do we need to do, and I don't know, kind of think through some of those things. But
The one good side of something like that, and if there is ever a good side, is the fact that it didn't drag on and he didn't suffer.
right.
You know.
No, I agree. I had a grandmother who for like 6 months was pretty much almost non-responsive, and didn't know people, and couldn't talk, and but it just drug on and on and on, and oh my gosh, my poor dad and his brothers, like it just wore them out because it was this ongoing like ups and downs, and she might be improving a little, and then she was worse, and so the longevity of something like that can really be rough. But yeah, I just my heart breaks for him, and that kind of loss when you just, I mean, it could happen to any of us at any time, I know, but poor guy.
That's a shame.
So
Yeah.
yeah. And then Adam, I know he lost his grandmother, and he was doing good with it, but I also I identify kind of with where he's at, where I've lost relatives. When I lost my grandmother, who I loved and all that, like I empathized much more. The time that I cried was when my dad cried at her memorial service. He got up and was trying to talk, and I didn't cry until I saw my dad like break down and cry. And it's like, man, that was much rougher, is to see how tough it is on the people who are so close, it was his mom. And so I think there's that little bit of distance really can change emotionally how it feels.
Right.
Still tough,
Jeez,
though. I mean,
Thanks, Mike.
you know what?
He says there's been so much bad news in in the Pride 48 world. I hope we don't hear Gavin keel over.
Well,
Real nice.
No, that was me.
That was that was Jim hacking up a lung.
I turned off my mic.
Me.
I turned off my mic too.
we just
It probably
need some.
picked it up.
Yeah.
There's another microphone somewhere on this desk. I just can't find it.
It's probably in
Whooshy.
the. It's in the camera.
So I really don't need this thing in front of me, right?
I don't know.
Let's try this. Moosey moosey.
Oh,
Can
you
you-
sound the,
Yeah.
you sound the same. You didn't set your settings for that camera, so
I-
don't put it.
Oh.
You sound fine, so just leave it.
I've probably been talking in a dead mic for the last 2 years.
Yeah, we got a new computer.
That would be great.
No one knows.
Actually, when the microphone is working, I can hear it usually some sort of like I can hear myself in the headphones. Now, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I have not been able to hear myself in the headphones, so I guess it's just been dead. Or I don't know. We'll play around with it. I can always use that when I'm by myself and playing karaoke, sing a couple of the old
Well, You can
Polish love songs.
ch-
Oh, moja droga.
let me
But
know when you're done. Are you done
yeah,
with your torch song?
I wasn't sure if he was dying or that was something sexual or.
I was singing Bobby Vinton. All right.
We're far too young.
Okay.
To know who that is.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You can change your audio settings to which microphone you want to use, Jim.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to do that now.
Even I know that. Listen to me act like I'm the expert on Skype all the time because I've used it for 10 minutes.
Oh.
Gavin's now offering classes to Pride 48 folks on how to use Skype.
Oh,
Well, I mean, let's face it. We're only 13 minutes into it, so let's see. I'm not going to be talking about it.
I can
Right.
see a future workshop in New Orleans next year.
No.
Right. There you go.
Oh, Jay got his camera. Okay.
What is it? Oh, we have Mike in the room. He's a celebrity. Mike from Gayish.
He is a celebrity.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Well, no, he
Of
won a
course.
meat. He won the meat raffle this week, didn't he?
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, it was
I'd love to win a meat raffle, but it's not the kind of meat he went home with.
we got 2 kibasi and a half a chicken, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like a sack to me.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a sack of dicks.
I don't know. I was thinking, oh my God, Jay, that's a great porn. I'm getting off the clumps here. All I kept thinking about was, have you ever put kibasi on the grill or on a smoker when it's like slow roasted for a couple of hours and you bite into it and it's like, oh, it just melts in your mouth.
And it snaps, like the skin just
The
snaps.
skin snaps, yeah. Oh my God, Jay, I love your porn.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, no, that's kibasi right there. The number.
Oh, speaking of which, I had an assignment, a couple of assignments when I was on last,
Right.
and I did give some feedback to Pornhub, and they just responded a couple days ago. So I haven't had a chance to do the research, but they sent me a link to a form where I can input my suggestion for adding to their audio described porn library. So I need I need to go in and look for which videos I would like to have audio described. So I don't know, maybe I should ask the folks in the chat room to send me suggestions of what. Well, no, okay, never mind. I'm rethinking this.
Oh, wait, you mean audio described like I
Yeah,
have-
because I don't know what people would send.
I was well, you know, the guys from Fist Fest, one of the guys, Ryan, his big gimmick is pushing out his pushing out his shithole, and I mean we're talking about a good 6-inch slab of meat comes popping out of his hole, like he pushes all the muscle out. I would love to hear that.
Ooh.
Yeah, how would they describe?
Yeah, no, exactly. See, that's not what I want to listen to.
Well, no,
Oh,
the
it's not
thing,
about you.
yeah, that comes out, and there's usually one or two animals right there ready to swallow it. Like, oh
Oh, if you
And you don't mean like squirrels either, do you?
no,
Blind Guy Jay, if you get a good one, share it with me, and I will record it, and we will play it.
Okay.
Okay.
prolapse.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. No, I want to do a little research and try to find some ones. The challenge for me is they said we would like your suggestions for which ones to describe, and the hard part for me is I don't know which ones I want to have them describe. Right? It's this weird thing of like I can't see it, so I don't know if it's something I would like to hear described or.
Well, you have to have Martin sit down with you and tell him what you want.
I guess so, and involve him. Like say, hey, what what of these videos? Like, let's go through some videos, and then I have to keep track of the names and who posted them, I guess, and then I can submit that, and we'll see if they audio describe them or how long it takes. But they did say we would love your input, and here's a link to a page where you can give us the feedback, and
you never know
okay,
that will lead you and Martin to in that evening. So
yeah.
Who knows?
yeah. I mean, it could be good.
Then you could record that and have them audio describe that one too.
There you go. No,
So, Gavin, are you drinking now?
What?
Are you drinking? Are you back to drinking now that on Saturdays or Fridays now that you're doing the show again?
Oh yeah.
So what's everybody drinking?
I am drinking Old Elk.
Oh, you talked about that before.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yes, that was
so good.
That was my other assignment, and I have not gotten out to the Total Wine and More to grab the Old Elk.
Oh,
okay.
I will.
I still have a bottle. So.
Horn Cub, are you the porn man tonight?
I hope so. It's about time.
All right, because
yeah, there's no Mr. Mike, and
we have a request for large dicks.
Okay.
Ed Gong had a problem. Ed Gong had needed to go. Needed to leave.
Do that.
Oh, that's too bad. I was going to say large dicks is always a good category. Now, luckily on Pornhub, I think I should be able to go into like gay and then choose one of the categories. And so I can probably choose like large dicks or blowjobs or, something that I'm interested in and hopefully pick a video from in there and see if they'll describe what I want. So
you need to pick something really creepy. Come on, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Something really like
midget porn.
I don't.
Babysitter.
Yeah,
porn.
I don't know.
Oh, I did find a midget porn the other day.
Was it gay though, or was it straight?
Oh, it was gay.
Wow.
But it didn't end up being porn per se. It was just wrestling. It was this midget wrestling this really built guy.
Wrestling can be fun, especially if they get big old boners, and
Do they have to be old?
They did that, but there was no happy endings. So
okay.
really kind of made me annoyed, but it was I did not save it. Let's put it that way. So, and it will not be the video of the week.
Oh well.
Gayish Mike says this is his first Poke It with a Stick chat experience. So,
Oh well,
the,
he's
in order to qualify as a true listener, you have to at least post some porn. So,
yeah.
and
Right.
I
yeah,
know,
you should post some porn to the chat room.
I know you got porn somewhere.
Yeah. I
I'm
actually.
sure he knows where to find it.
Oh shit! Is that my phone? Yeah.
That's your phone. You want me to see who it is, or?
No, it's I don't know the caller because that's why
All right.
everybody I know on my phone has their own caller number. So
All
that's
right.
just spam.
Jay, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Canyon Ridge cider.
Oh.
It's a local cider company that is reasonably priced. One of my big beefs with cider has been that it, over the last couple of years, it got really popular, and they have just jacked up the prices on it.
Yeah.
Stuff that I 2-3 years ago could get for I could get like a 4-pack of 16 or 16.9 ounce cans, like depending on who the manufacturer was. They range in what they sell, but I could get a 4-pack for quite a few different varieties in the $8 range. And now most of them are up around $12 for that same thing.
Really?
Which is just ridiculous. Yeah, it got popular, and all of a sudden, and they're producing more than ever.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't know if it's just, bless you, if it's just that the demand is higher too, because it's more popular. But this one I found, it's local, and I found it at the local Costco, because Costco tries to carry local stuff when they can. And this one's $8 for a 4-pack of 16-ounce cans. And they're really dry. It's only 11 carbohydrates for a 16-ounce can, which is super dry. Because like Angry Orchard, which is like the crappiest cider you can find, but it's super sweet, and it's like 30-ish carbs for a 12-ounce can.
Wow.
So yeah, it's like drinking a soda or a Mike's Hard Lemonade, which, hey, those things have their place, but not my thing. I like them dry. So
Wow.
they have a regular apple and a ginger pineapple. So, and I just finished the apple, so I'm about to go crack open the ginger pineapple one.
Noise.
That sounds
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of too sweet, though. I don't know. It's just me. I'm not.
With only 11 carbohydrates, it's very, very dry, which is nice.
Oh, okay.
I am having pomegranate mead.
What is pomegranate?
Oh, okay.
You have to explain that to me.
It's like essentially a slightly flavored beer, probably, right?
Well, mead is a honey liqueur.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
It's based on honey, but yeah, this one's a pomegranate. We have a local meadery in South Delaware.
Isn't that something they drink on Monty Python or something?
Well, it would be something from like you might see at a Renaissance festival or something.
Oh, all right.
Right. No, I've made mead before. I made a mango mead, but it was too sweet, and so I need to experiment a little bit and see if I can
unsweeten it.
Yeah, like make it a little more dry, because I don't know, for my taste, it was just a little much.
Yeah.
Is yours pretty sweet?
This one's pretty sweet. Yeah, there are drier ones, but this one is not very dry.
Yeah. Well, I've got that cider maker, and you can make mead with it as well. So it's pretty easy. So I'll have to give it a try.
Right.
How about you, Jim? Are you drinking anything?
I have coffee in one hand and water in the other.
Oh, you're drinking coffee, huh?
Yeah, cold coffee. Yeah, that.
Like iced or like cold press?
It's been sitting out for about more than an hour.
Okay.
Like old coffee.
Like old room temperature.
Just old.
Yeah. So, was anybody following the raid on Area 51 today?
No.
No.
No?
I
Was that
did.
the one where they were inviting tons of people to go out and saying,
Yeah.
they can't stop us if 1 billion people show up or
Yeah,
whatever.
they can't stop all of us. Yeah.
Right. they'll only kill 500,000 of us.
It's funny. I forgot all about that stupid shit. And today at work, I was the only one in my department. And one of my friends on the other side of the building was asking, like, where is everybody? And I was like, I don't know where everybody went. And then, then I came across the news article or something. And I said, oh, they must be out storming Area 51.
Yeah, there you go.
And that was about the extent of, that's definitely something. If, had I been within a half a mile, I would have walked out for 10 minutes to take a look.
Only if I could stay far back.
Yeah.
Because if people are,
I think they had 50 people show up.
I figure
I was
probably
gonna
going to end up being like Burning Man for nerds.
right. I was gonna say if people are stupid enough to get that close, then they might just deserve to die.
Well, the thing is, the whole thing is actually more of a joke than anything else. It's not really meant to be serious. So, I have the feeling that the people in charge out there are going to be kind of like, just make sure nobody comes past the lines. You know what I mean? It's not like these people actually plan on storming Area 51. There might be a
few have fun, tase them a time or two.
Yeah, right.
Just for kicks.
Yeah, have fun, tase them
hose them down with green glue or something.
And if there's anything there, they've long moved it, or
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In it or whatever.
Or they could be doing podcasts. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Somebody look it up. See if there is any podcast raiding Area 51 today.
Is that your chicken going wild there, Jay?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're talking about my parrot chicken?
Oh, parrot. It's a parrot.
I was going to say Toppy's the only one with chickens.
Yeah, Toppy's got chickens. I have parrots, but they're kind of like chickens.
It sounds like he's actually talking today.
They're tropical chickens.
Oh, she did say hi. So.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
The other one that screams is being quiet right now.
Oh.
Don't tempt her.
Now, was that the bird or the door?
That was the door squeaking. My pantry door that squeaks when I put my recycling in there. Here, I can come over. I can see if I can get Sprite to talk. Hi, Sprite. What's that? Good boy. Can you say good boy? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Can you give me a kiss? Nope, she's not gonna. Give me a kiss. Oh, there we go.
Aww.
Yeah. Step up. Step up. I just wanted to see if I can get her to talk. She doesn't want to. Step up.
What did she say?
Good boy. Oh, she said good boy, but it was kind of quiet.
Oh.
Step up. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Step up. Good. Oh, that was good boy.
Oh.
How nice. What other birds?
Can you say?
Ooh.
That's a really pretty
whistle. She whistles really nice.
Now, what breed is that one?
She's a lilac-crowned Amazon.
Okay.
So, and then the cockatoo says things like "I love you" and "Come here." She begs for I don't know. She thinks she wants everything, so she begs for everything, and then you go over there and she's like, "Nope, not interested. I don't want it."
Have you ever had the birds repeat something you didn't want them to repeat?
No.
No? Okay.
No. I mean, it could happen at some point, but, so far, I guess I've been lucky.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the birds like
yeah, they haven't yelled "fuck you" or
no, no,
you
no. Or
know.
even something from the television, you know?
Oh,
I would
did you
imagine
guys
it
hear
takes
her
a lot of
laugh?
practice.
Yeah, did you guys hear her laugh as
No.
I was walking away? Oh, okay. She just laughed, which is funny. Like she does a great laugh. But no, they say that anything emotional, like the high emotion,
Uh-huh.
is what they tend to learn or repeat because that catches their interest.
So she
So
might say something like "suck my dick, you fucking bitch."
yeah, if you said it with a lot of emotion, a whole bunch in front of her,
Yeah, usually.
yeah, there you go.
Oh.
She would probably learn. So
Jim,
that's
Jim,
why they learn to
not,
say.
Jim, we cannot get one of those.
I don't want one. That's all right. I like chickens.
Guys, they outlive people. So
Yep.
Nope. Yeah, I mean,
Should
we'll have they're they're in the will to go to somebody else. So
Oh my
Yeah.
God. How long do they
because
live?
um Sprite, the Amazon, her average lifespan is 70 years, and
Okay.
that's just an average. Like
Oh.
they could live. I think I've heard cases of an Amazon living up to like 90
Oh wow.
ish, and the cockatoo, her average is about 50. But they say that they're often they do stupid stuff. They're like crazy little animals that are
They,
hyper, and they I don't know, they jump around and do all kinds of crazy stuff, and they end up like
killing
hanging themselves
themselves.
in their cage or
Oh,
something
jeez.
because they get caught in their toys, or you know
aw.
strange accidents
Same.
happen. So, well, my friend had one, and hers was playing with a little dachshund, and the dachshund bit it. So, um,
Oh,
yeah, which is terrible, and I felt awful for her. But it was weird too because her dachshund had been around lots of birds and never had a problem, and then all of a sudden it it got really aggressive or bold and like pushed the dog's buttons one too many times apparently, and the dog was like, I don't think so.
you can only take so much.
Right, exactly.
Well, the
She
dachshund
said,
probably said, "How many times am I going to be the bigger one in this battle?" So let me
right.
take advantage.
Well,
Right.
And you can't really get mad at the dachshund because
No,
he's a dog. He's
no,
a
they're
hunter.
yeah, and dachshunds were bred to be like burrowing little biters. I mean, that's kind of in their DNA. But
yeah.
luckily, with Gerard, when he was alive, like uh, she picked on him like endlessly, and he never ever did anything aggressive towards her. He took it and he played, and it would get him all worked up and excited when,
Right.
I mean, he would bark or yelp when he got nipped, but it still wouldn't stop him. He'd like turn, run away, and then come running back and like bark at her and just be all excited. Like he took it all as a game, which she was trying to play too. She just doesn't know how to moderate as well. Like she
Hmm.
gets
Right.
pretty aggressive, and her being pretty aggressive is can be painful because when they nip, they can really nip.
Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
But
speaking of Gerard, is there a plan for you to get a new?
I'm on the waiting list, and it's been 2 months since I was approved, so I'm waiting,
Oh, okay.
crossing my fingers. They said 4 to 5 months is the average wait right now, um,
So what do you
but
do?
I'm hoping that they'll find one sooner.
What have you been doing without? Have you? What have you been doing without Gerard? Without a dog?
Um, I get around with a cane. I don't get
Okay.
around as well, but like in my office building, I used my cane a lot of the time anyway, just to run
Right.
upstairs or to a meeting or something. Um I wouldn't
Right.
harness up Gerard, and he would just hang out in my cubicle.
Right.
But like walking to the light rail, I Martin's been giving me a ride in the morning down there so that I'm not needing to walk, because the walk that used to take me about 15 minutes with Gerard takes
Right.
me 40 minutes with a cane.
Oh.
So
Okay.
excuse me. I'm slow with a cane. I can't walk nearly as fast.
Yeah, well, you're not used to it, really. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
in
With a
the
lot
world,
of practice, I could get
yeah,
faster, but it would never be 15 minutes.
Do you
no.
think it would go? Would it go faster if you swung the cane in the up in the air?
It might be fast until I like fell off the curb into the street and somebody ran me over.
Well, then you carry two.
Right.
One for swinging to make sure everybody's out of your way.
Right.
Yeah. We should get like a big like get a big giant like a giant hula hoop, probably like 12, 15 feet across. You know what I mean? And just like hook it onto
Strap,
something. It hangs
strapped
from
over
your
your
shoulder.
shoulder, you know.
Yeah, strapped over your shoulders. This way.
I think I'll just go with the tried and true methods.
Oh, you're no
Yes.
fun.
I know.
Innovate.
I prefer to get around somewhat safely. So
Innovation
Oh, we
starts.
could play a game show like what is that show that was on the other day, Jim?
Oh,
Impractical Jokers.
oh.
Ugh.
We just make Jay do things.
well, I'm not opposed to like trying things if it's a game show type thing, or
Yeah.
people dare me to do stuff. What the heck? But
No, is that Impractical Jokers? That's the one where the four guys they send one guy into like a
Yep.
restaurant,
Yeah.
and he's got a headset on, and only he can see, only he knows the headset is on, and like they'll say, go to the woman in the corner and tell her she's got beautiful hair. So he goes over to the woman, tells her she has beautiful hair, and then they say, now stroke her face, stroke her ears, or something.
See, that's the thing. It's like I like the show kind of, but sometimes I feel very uncomfortable with things that they do.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Yeah, which that's my issue. You know what I mean? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with what they're doing, but like I'm just like, oh, just.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it constantly because I feel the same way. It's cringeworthy.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
A lot of the things, like we were listening to a morning radio show that like Martin listens to all the time, and when he was driving me to the light rail one morning, they're doing this joke thing where like somebody's, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, like will call in and say, "Hey, play this trick on this person," and he like calls and plays a trick, and I told Martin, I'm like, in some ways it's funny, but it reaches a certain point where I start going, okay, it's not funny anymore. And they push it way beyond what I think is funny,
Right.
because they'll like get the person really upset to where the person's angry, and just mad because they keep pushing the person's buttons. And it's like, okay, like you lost me a long time ago. And then recently the host told the person like, oh, I'm sorry, you took it too far. We're ending this. And I'm like, fuck you, radio host. Like, you're the one who pushed the woman to the point of, and then you accuse her of taking it too far? Like, who are you to decide? It's like, you just pushed the poor woman, and kept pushing her buttons like over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And until it was not funny.
It's like watching Fox News,
Yeah.
Well, but to me, it's just mean then. Like, I don't.
They're horrible and horrible and horrible and like talking shit about everybody else. And then the minute you go back at them, you're like, oh, well, aren't you being overly sensitive?
Right.
I'm finding a lot of weird porn on the new Tumblr. There's
really have to get on that. I just keep forgetting about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the old one, but I mean, I think if you
is it called New Tumblr?
That's what I'm on. It's newtumble.com.
Oh, New Tumble.
That's where all the stuff I'm posting.
Oh, they took the R off. Okay, yeah. New Tumble.
Yeah, you got some pretty fat dicks there. Nice.
Thank you.
I mean,
Not that they're mine, but
yeah, I know. I love this guy. There's this guy. He's like, he's like on a sidewalk, and there's people walking back and forth behind him. He's jerking off, and he's like shooting his load right out into the air, and it's like, I mean, he's spraying like his cum like 6 feet. It's weird.
that's not the one in the parking lot. That's
And there's
No.
there's like these suburban housewives walking behind him. And do you see the
Yeah.
guy? Do you see the guy with the hat?
Yeah, he's like looking. Whoa, look at that guy.
Watching it, like his head's jerking, like he's watching a tennis match or something.
Yeah, no, but I mean, where the hell is this guy that he's naked on the street like that, jacking one out?
Where is this?
I don't know.
It could be it. I mean, it could all be set up because I think anymore a lot of these videos when I see something or Martin will, describe like, oh, this just happened on Facebook, and I'm like, that is so contrived. Like, obviously somebody set that all up, and then so they could like do their little, oh my gosh, me, like surprised, like run away or whatever it is.
And it's funny to see the look on his face because he looks so proud of himself.
Yeah.
Like almost half smirk.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it could all
said
be
it's
actors.
from Folsom, which doesn't. That's where I would imagine if any place it would have been.
Yeah.
Oh, from Folsom Street Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay,
just
that would
judging
make
by the
sense.
look he lose in the background, like they're at a.
Yeah, they shouldn't even be there, as usual.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, but I mean, if they're there and they see that and they're okay with it, then hey, whatever, good on
It's just
them.
weird. It's just weird because it looks like a typical suburban neighborhood street, or not a city
Right.
street. I don't know.
But Folsom Street Fair is held, right out there in San Francisco, so it's
And the tourists go just to see this
regular city.
Yeah, well, that's what it's probably now. It's a tourist attraction now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's not a fair.
It is, and
they should make
I-
the thing code. You can't get on the street unless you're in code.
No, no, that is.
It would be wonderful to see all the Karens dressed in leather.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would take away from the magic of it all. You know what I mean? Like you just.
It's true. I know, but it's funny to think about.
So is Mike still in the chat room?
No.
Mike,
No, he left
Yeah.
Yeah.
from Gayish.
oh,
I wondered if he had stayed and was posting porn.
he posted one,
Yeah.
Did he?
Oh, okay, good.
so he did his fulfillment. So
Yeah. He fulfilled his duty while he was listening. There we go. Well,
Yeah, there's a. I'd
he
like to
probably
meet
is.
somebody.
He's a
I'm
busy guy. So
just to go off subject. I'm very happy with the way this Skype thing is working right now. So, but we'll see.
Yeah. Let's not jinx it.
Yeah, I,
Yeah.
know. I shouldn't have said.
yeah,
Don't open your mouth. Don't open your mouth, Gavin.
Just don't let me forget to turn off the recording because I can't hang up until I turn off the recording. Because if I stop the call and I don't save the recording, I lose it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So we need to remind you to stop the recording.
Or so I'm told anyway. So
That's what you've heard.
Well, we'll see. Depends on how many of the drinks have kicked in by then.
yeah.
Yeah. So what are you supposed to do?
What?
What? I'm watching Tumbles. What is it again?
I have to save the video before I hang up.
Oh, all right.
Otherwise, I lose it.
Why don't you make that part of your outro that we can no longer hear?
Well, that's probably just something I didn't set up properly, so we'll see.
Oh.
We'll hear it, or I'll hear it on the playback when I always download and listen to it later.
Yeah.
It's funny to listen to it double speed. So.
Oh my God! You listen to this double speed?
Oh, everything.
That must
all
be...
my podcasts.
Do you really?
Yeah, I've got too many of them. I'm subscribed to so many of them that it's the only way I can keep up.
Wow.
If I want to keep up on stuff, so I listen to them all at double speed.
Oh wow.
It's so weird at the live events, like Pride 48, to hear like Big Fatty's music. It's like, oh my gosh, it sounds like am I drunk or is there
You're probably
something
like,
wrong?
come on
It's
already.
like, oh yeah,
Can
I'm
you
drunk
guys,
and it's slow.
can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I changed some. I just wanted to see if that worked. So I don't know. We'll find out
Oh,
later.
okay.
So.
But yeah, everybody sounds very different at regular speed versus double.
Well, Big Fatty, like he sounds normal at double speed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Big Fatty.
I can't wait to have him back. So.
Okay. I know.
Well, we need to get Toppy back too.
I'm sure he has a lot to deal with because his father passed away a while ago, right?
2 years.
Yeah. So, like, I mean,
Yeah.
they deal with the whole, going.
Yep. And
Does-
being
does he have
executor is not easy.
He's got
yes.
Yeah, I think he has 2 brothers. Was it?
Two brothers, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. So that's always, well, I mean, my family was real easy. Like everything was just, I mean, my little sister with my aunt, my little sister, she's like, everybody come, and we all went to the funeral home and we all just stood there and everybody was like, yeah, okay. Yep. That's fine.
All right.
There's no arguments about anything. So
Wow.
not everybody is.
Oh, that's ideal.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, it was,
I will come on everything.
I don't
What?
know. I'm worried about my sister and what will happen if anything happens to my parents because of advice that I heard from my parents that she was giving them, and I started going, oh gosh, like she's giving them advice that obviously benefits her, and I don't care, but it's advice that means that it's not putting my parents' needs first.
Right.
And that's what
so
I'm
she's
worried
being
about.
greedy, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and because I don't give a shit if I don't get anything from my parents. Like
Right.
I don't need anything, right? Like I'm fine. It's not important. I want them to be taken care of, but she's telling them to do things that I'm like, the only person that benefits is you when they die. Like it doesn't make any sense for them.
That's where I always say to people, because they're always like, oh, well, we're not like that. It's like, you know what? People get ugly when it comes to shit like that. There's always one, you know what I mean?
I mean,
and they don't see it, I take it.
My dad was kind of defensive of my sister when he was told me about what she had said, and I was like, Dad, like, I said, I hate to disagree, but like, you and Mom need to think about your needs first. Like, before, like, maybe you should consult with somebody else and not just listen to what she says. I'm like, my sister is very smart and that's all well and fine, but maybe you should have somebody who's not an involved party, be giving you some of your financial advice. And, because my dad's like, well, would you want to help? And I'm like, Dad, I don't necessarily want to get into some wrestling match with my sister about, anything. So I think you guys are better off finding your own person to give you good advice. And
you're always
like,
better
I'm
to a
happy
lawyer.
to help if you want help, but
you're always better off to a third party that
I agree
in any way, shape, or form, who actually knows what they're fucking talking about. So
yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty good with the financial stuff, but I also don't want to find myself in a situation where there could be finger pointing, like, oh, you only said this because it would benefit you. Like, I would just prefer not to be in that situation. I would like them to consult with somebody who can give them the best recommendations for their long range financial stuff, and let my sister and I battle it out when they're gone. And honestly, like, I'm not gonna battle anything. It's just gonna be for me, it's going to be like, whatever, like
Yeah.
if she
My
wants to make a big deal about things, like it's not worth fighting about.
It
My
is what it is.
my parents made all their stuff in advance. Everything's taken care of. We don't have to worry about anything. And I never talk about money with them for any purpose. They bring it up and ask me a question. I'll say what I think, but I don't. They never talked about money. I had to learn how to write a check in college. So they never talked about money. I didn't even know you had to pay for electricity till I moved out of my house. So,
oh gosh.
So it's not like they ever talked to us about money when we're living there. Hey, I
Oh
do
my.
now.
My parents were great at modeling like really good, financial management, money management, and stuff. But they also, as they've gotten older, are feel a little overwhelmed by
Especially
their
after what
retirement and planning for their future and making sure they have money in the bank and all that. And I can understand that. It's a whole different thing.
and especially after what they went through. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
How are
And
they?
that's part of it.
How are they doing in Tennessee?
They are doing great. Like they're loving it. And, I've seen some posts on Facebook, and I need to call them this weekend. It's on the list of things to do, to call and, check in with them and see how they're doing. But it sounded like they're doing quite well when they were here to visit a couple, I don't know, a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And we had a nice meal with them, and they said that things were going well out there. They were feeling a little more settled, and had been meeting some people. We're getting to know their neighbors, and
Yeah.
so that's great.
Let's see what happens. Let's see how much they love it once winter comes.
Yeah. Right.
Tennessee, I don't
Yeah,
think
it
it'll be
doesn't get that.
bad.
It doesn't get that bad, but you
They
don't.
still get snow and stuff, but yeah, they don't. It's not like up here,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
but they're used to California, so
right?
Yeah. Well, they got snow.
Yeah,
in
but they were
California.
Paradise, which is foothills, so they were at like 1,1700 feet above sea level. So
okay.
they
So
got some snow during the year. So I don't think it'll be much different, probably.
yeah, so it'll probably be about the same for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and they, they're, I don't know. My dad likes driving around a little bit in the snow and all that. So they'll be fine. I'm not worried about them at all.
I always kind of giggle when people are like, "Oh, I would love to live in New Jersey." When people like in California or Texas or Arizona are like, "Oh, it'd be so nice to have a white Christmas."
Have four
No,
seasons.
no,
Yeah.
not at all. I'll trade you. Just you take
Yeah.
my house. I'll take your house. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh no! See, I love California where I'm at because I'm 200 feet above sea level or something ridiculous, and like we don't. Our winter is mild, and we get rain, and it ices over maybe 2 or 3 times a year at the most. We get some kind of freeze, and that's about it. Like it is very, very mild, and I love it. I hate the 105-degree days sometimes during the summer, but whatever. There's air
Yeah.
conditioning.
But it's a dry heat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, whatever.
That old chestnut.
That's
Yeah.
bullshit. Whenever somebody
It's
says
supposed to make you feel better.
whenever somebody says that to me about Arizona, oh, but it's a dry heat. I'm like, yes, so it's a fucking convection oven. So
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're trying to crisp your lungs.
right? No. I think I could. If I was retired, I could deal with it because then I wouldn't have to go out of the house except at night. But
Right.
if I have to go out during the day, no.
The only time I'm that I truly really find it uncomfortable is walking home from the light rail, because it's a 15 to 20 minute walk depending on the lights and everything.
45 minutes now.
And yeah. Oh, with a cane. Oh God. The day I did that, it was like 98 degrees.
Oh my
And
God.
I got home and I was Well, I think I stopped sweating like a block before I got home
Oh my God.
because I walked through the door and I just like grabbed a big, huge glass and just drank, 3 or 4 glasses of water, um, just as quick as I could because I felt like every bit of moisture was gone out of my body.
Tim in
Aw.
Alaska. Tim in Alaska. That's because we're the only people talking right now. He says, "I hear Gavin and BJ."
Yeah,
But he doesn't hear anything else.
Jade dropped off, didn't he? Or did he?
Did he?
I don't know.
Oh, he must have.
I
Yeah,
think he
Yeah.
did.
He was done.
that's all right. We're at 5 minutes of. Oh, he joined again.
That's weird.
Why? What
Oh,
happened?
okay.
I just suddenly
Did it kick you off?
stopped hearing you all. Yeah, I guess so.
Wow, that's weird.
That's what was happening to me last week.
But that was on Hangouts.
Oh yeah.
Either that or Gavin was disconnecting you.
No, I didn't. I swear, I didn't even know he was gone because I have that behind, like the chat room. I'm looking at the chat room because I have to save this. So.
Well, I'm glad you didn't lose it because then it would have been in trouble for posting it. So I'm glad it was only me.
Yeah,
So-
you gotta save your stuff, right?
What about birthdays, Gavin?
Oh, good. I'm glad you brought it up.
Don't want to miss that.
I don't even have that open.
Oh wait, you gotta hump.
well,
Oh, you know what?
tell
I think there are no birthdays this week. That's why I didn't have it open. Nope.
Oh, that's why you meant to do it. Okay.
Oh, wait. I'm wrong. Nope, that's next month. I don't have any for this week or next week.
Jim, that last one that
Wow.
you posted, where on New Tumble was that one? That one's hot.
Oh no, I do have next week. But
Kukla Poot.
Wow. What's the name of the blog? Do you know?
Kukla Poot. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, KUK
oh, you're serious?
LAPOOT.
Lapoot.
Kuklapet.
Where the fuck is that from?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Kukla Poot.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Do you see what Jay's
I think I'll.
icon is?
Yeah,
See
it's
what-
Coochie Kopi.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
My icon.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you were trying to say, Gavin?
So what did you find that was so good, Jim?
Where?
I
just happened to like. It's just a picture of a guy. It's taken from like below his boner, and he's like flexing, so his arms are behind his head, and he's hairy. He's got a nice looking dick. It just was kind of a hot picture.
Yeah, it is. It's like the way you want to see them.
Oh, okay.
It's the way
Yeah.
you want to look up and see that.
Right. It's a real
Yeah.
cool food.
Yeah, and like no, you would want to see something like that. You don't want somebody saying, "Well, I don't know." Yeah.
You want to know they were into it.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
I'm finding better. I mean, I'm finding better things on the new Tumble.
Uh-huh.
I mean, at first starting out, it was all like pretty boy shit, and I like them.
Yeah.
I like them a little edgier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks like
I
they. Smell,
can't
but
do the
no.
pretty boys. Ugh,
No.
not my thing.
No, I think as more people have jumped on there and posted stuff, there's a lot more. The library's a lot bigger now than it was. For a while there, it was like kind of slim pickings.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's
Right.
like people got to get, like if you're on there, for anybody that's on there, you should really be posting shit to Twitter so that people get on.
Yeah.
Something.
So they know about New Tumble, you mean?
Yeah.
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 Well, and I'm sure it takes time for people to set up their accounts and move stuff over to it, and people have to hear about it and whatever. So
Yeah.
the more people are on it, probably the quicker word will spread.
I was
Unless
very
this huge library like like Mr. Mike does.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
very conservative with my Tumblr account. It would be like I would grade each picture. Will I want to see this again? Will I come back to it?
Right.
Am I going to like it in
That's-
another month? And now with this one, I'm
Yeah, but
just
most of your posts were like kittens and
no.
I was gonna say cupcakes and
I'm talking about the name I do not share.
oh,
You know,
okay.
my dirty
Oh,
dirty
okay.
stash. Oh, you can like my Twitter account, number one funky homo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that one. I mean, I can open that up at work. All right, like I'm not telling you the other one. I don't want you people know what my freaky shit is.
Well, I think we have an idea.
Jim, you've been
Yeah, I think we
doing
do.
this podcast for how
No, you
long? I think
don't.
they all. Yeah, they do.
That gets pretty wicked.
I don't think you could surprise us or shock us.
I got to pee. I'll be right back.
Oh, wait, did he play the outro yet?
We wouldn't know if he did.
That's true.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think he did. So
All right.
yeah, no, it's hopefully, I'm glad there is something that is replacing Tumblr.
Yeah,
So,
but
hope.
I don't know if this is like, who are these people doing it? Are they as secure? Is it just going to disappear one night? Like
Yeah, it's always hard to say.
I know. Isn't it
Yeah.
hard? And am I that protective of my porn? Should I be? Should it only be kept out there in the internet, or should I download it and save it? Because I have porn from well over 10 years ago that I don't even look at. Now, I opened it up and I was like, look at all these guys with mullets.
Yeah.
Your old 80s porn.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't even save porn anymore.
No, there's no need.
I mean, why bother, right? You can do a quick search or jump to a favorite site and
See, to me,
look at new stuff.
I have some video links saved, but for the most part, like I find the hunt as fulfilling as the actual porn itself. You know what I mean? Looking for
It depends on my mood. Like sometimes I'm like, man, I just want something good so I can get off, and other times I'm just browsing and enjoy the browsing and the.
Yeah, that's what the ones I saved are for. They're like the ones that I know it will get me off easily. So
yeah, well, there's always the old reliable, especially early in the morning when you're running late and you want to wank one out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or if I get home late, I had to run errands after work, and I know you're going to be home in like 45 minutes. Like it really, like quick spank went out,
Mm-hmm. I mean, to talk to you about the floor.
I have a rag. Do you guys know our thing? I know this is probably oversharing, but I just think.
All right, well then you better think twice before opening your mouth.
I think it's funny.
You got to clear it with Jim first.
All the red towels in the house are not to be used on food.
Are those like the garage towels, like the?
No, they're just
those
dish towels.
Oh, okay, but they're red, huh?
Any red dish towel or cum rags.
Of course they're red.
Right. Yeah. Well, just be careful now that you guys are getting older. If there's blood in there, you want to make sure you can spot it.
Oh Lord.
Oh Jesus. Well, I know things, and they get washed.
No, now that. Thanks for bringing that up. Now I have to think about
that. Ew. Well, I mean, washing machines now. I know my washing machine has a sanitize cycle, and we sanitize like all our dish towels and bathroom towels and everything.
What is it? How does it sanitize it? With heat or?
It's high heat, so it turns on a water heater, and it uses steam as well.
Oh.
To sanitize. So.
You have one of those front load washers, then?
Yeah.
Okay. See, we have a regular old fashioned
dump it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm depending on my soap and the other.
I also wash those rags by themselves.
They get their own load. Ha ha ha.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, we have one cycle that like our low is like really low. Like it's like
uh,
a gallon and a half of water in the bottom of the fucking washer. You know?
oh, geez.
So
Wow.
so like if you only have like a handful of things you want to wash, that's the one to use. So
Well, and I know the brand, and not all of the front load ones that are this way, but the Whirlpool, the one that I have, they actually sort of weigh they use some kind of sensor by weight, and
right.
that's how they determine how much water to add.
oh,
That makes
see,
sense.
that's really fancy. We can't afford that.
Yeah. It, I love it because it does use very little water, and um, it's also cool because when you add stuff to it or whatever, it like
Right.
can tell when you open it up and close it, it'll reweigh and decide if it needs to add more water or whatever. So
Recalibrating.
yeah.
Mhm.
Wow, that's
So,
yeah. That would throw me way off.
It's like taking a wrong turn on GPS.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's go to an after show if we're gonna do an after show. But
all
uh,
right.
Jim, tell us where we can find you.
You can find me and all my applicable links at the number one funky homo on Twitter.
Okay, Hanka, where can we find you?
On Cub on Instagram, and what is the other thing? Oh, Twitter,
Twitter.
and
New
Life on the Shit List podcast.
Aw,
and Blind Guy J, where can we find you?
You can find me at JR Harris 2 on Facebook. It's kind of the only social media thing I do, and rarely at that. So,
And
aw,
you're not on any other podcasts anymore, are you?
nope, this is it.
Oh,
oh.
and you can.
Don't sound so sad. This is enough.
Well, winter is coming. Oh, that's right. It's like you live in California, so. And all my applicable links can be found at pokinit1.blogspot.com, including the after show, hopefully a YouTube video of the Skype call, and all the porn from the chat room. So
Remember to save this.
yes, I'm going. And then everybody say goodbye. I'm going to play the outro.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Can you hum it first, Calvin?
Them is rock would land on them.